So today we're going to work up to around 360. It's getting close to 800 pounds, that's not far off. We're also really close to my own personal best, so things are starting to get very, very serious. I need to be able to switch on and stay on and be focused around what we're doing. The first couple of warm-ups is more or less just trying to get the body going in the planar motion to be able to be perfect by the time we get to the working sets. Just getting my hips ready, getting my glutes firing, and just getting a good little increase in body temperature, a little sweat going. That's why I got the long sleeves on. And hopefully by the end of it, we'll be, by about 230, 250, somewhere 250 is one of the warm-ups. We'll have an idea of where we stand in regards to the top number today. Going through the planar movement, big toe down, pressure outside the foot, push my knees out against the bands to create better proprioception for the movement. Just get things switched on. We'll end up going, if it's a perfect day, 360, 330, 300, 250, 200, 150, 100. So that will be the progression for the day. So 360 done. A little harder than I thought what I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I'll have a chat with Max. We'll sit down and work out what's the plan for the next 7-8 weeks. Whether or not I need to deload this week, deload this lift just because of the accumulated fatigue, and progress everything else. So we'll pause 260 for a couple of sets, and then we'll do some heavy good mornings, and that should be enough for the day. Supplementary work's done to increase the main lift. For me, the biggest thing and the biggest carryover that I get from supplementary work comes from the pause squats, making it difficult. High bar, bare knees, 3-second pause. So then we'll go into some good mornings now, and work through our assistance weaknesses as well. And that'll be it. So we'll do some heavy good mornings. So we thankfully ended up hitting the 360. It wasn't too bad. The cumulative fatigue is beginning to catch up to me. I'm pretty fucked up right now. So we are going to end up deloading for the next week. It'll end up being probably 7 to 8 days. But for that particular lift, we will still continue to progress and go hard with the secondary squat day, the secondary leg day. That's in about 4 or 5 days in itself, depending on the recovery. After the main set, we then paused 260, which went really, really well. But that's when I began to really realise that the cumulative fatigue had been catching up, because it was a little bit harder than I actually wanted it to be. But that's okay. Equal PB'd in my good mornings, 200 for 5 for a couple of sets, which is great. We will look to then progress and continue on from there. From there, we will probably look to end up after the deload. We'll probably look to hit about 370 and then sort of gauge the recovery from there, which is really, really close to PB territory, which is fantastic. But still with the band, we'll still use the bands around the knees, just to enable and make things a little bit harder, just to enable a little bit more activation. There's no other reason other than me using the band just to make things a little bit more difficult. I'm trying to do things that are in the plane of my weakness, which is obviously my chain, as opposed to just putting wraps on and start blasting myself. So that's the purpose around it, and obviously the proprioception that we're going to get from the wraps and the strength gains from there.